Hello, everyone. Welcome to TV Literate, the podcast that unapologetically enjoys trashy TV. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Megan. And it's March.
It's fucking March. Holy shit.
Again. It always comes back around. And I think
know.
from this point, I mean, I don't think there will be a March in my life where I won't think about March 2020 and just be like, wow, it's been X amount of years since March of 2020.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of like 9/11.
Exactly.
Where every time you're like, oh, it's 9/11.
Yeah, for real. I feel like part of me is still stuck in March of 2020 and will always be there.
I feel like part of me died in March of 2020.
Definitely, for sure.
I feel like part of me has died many months in the past 2 years.
Yeah, I don't know how many more parts I got left, but like,
I know.
I hope I got more Horcruxes than Voldemort because, whew, they're going. They're going.
So much. Oh my god. The world's just a mess. Everything's a mess.
It's awful. It's truly awful. I think, since the last time we recorded, like, a new war has started.
Yeah, this is the first episode from World War III. Hi.
So welcome to this side of the awfulness.
Yeah, welcome to this timeline. It's the worst one.
It is the worst one. But we're going to try to talk about things that aren't war or even COVID related.
Yeah.
And we're going to, do our normal shit. So what have you been watching this week, Jillian?
I've been watching a lot of Survivor.
Hell yeah,
I think we got
course.
through like 3 seasons this past week.
Damn, you've been working. Working.
It's like what we've been doing because like every night we'll just be like exhausted from the day and the news and the world and everything. And so then we're just like, we're going to put on Paramount Plus, no commercials, nothing.
Mm-hmm. Nothing.
Just watching Survivor. Just Jeff Probst yelling at people who quit the game too early.
Exactly.
I know. So I used to think that Jeff Probst was not like the coolest dude ever. Like I was like, he's got to have some skeletons in his closet. But now I will be disappointed and depressed if he has a skeleton in his closet.
He just seems, I don't know. He just seems like a good guy. Like I like him.
Yeah.
I genuinely like Jeff Probst.
And I mean, I wouldn't flinch if he were like, oh yeah, I've embezzled money or something. Like that's fine. Do what you want.
Yeah.
Like, it's millionaires stealing from millionaires. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not as concerned about that as I am about other things. But thankfully Jeff Probst, nothing has come out about him yet, so that's a good sign.
I know. He's like America's dad.
He just really loves Survivor, and I love that about him.
He does really love Survivor. I don't think we've really watched anything other than Survivor at all. Like, we've watched some, like, news and shit. We watch, horrific live streams from Ukraine, but...
Yeah, that's not really... We're just not going to talk about that right now.
Yeah, that's just, like... bad vibes. We're talking about what we watch for good vibes. So,
yes, exactly. Good
what
vibes
have you
only.
been watching, Megan?
Oh my god, I watched Love Is Blind season 2. I watched all of it.
Oh,
it was so much. I started it. So Kyler and I, we went out of town. We went to like a cabin and like a secluded vacation away, which was our first time going away since our honeymoon before the pandemic started.
Yeah.
So it was really nice. And Kyler goes to bed significantly earlier than I do because I stay up late. And so I was like, you know what, I'll just start watching it. But I wasn't really expecting to get into it, but I was fucking sucked in. And by the time we left, I'd already watched like half of it. And then I watched the other half when I got home. But wow, there's just so much. And so many of these people just desperately need therapy.
I am so ready. I was waiting for the second batch of episodes to come out before I watched it because I hate watching just half a season or something.
Yeah, they're all of the episodes are out now except for the reunion, which comes out in like 2 days.
That's
but like
fair.
the wedding episode is out, so like
hell yeah.
There is closure. And wow, there's a lot. But for today, we are finally finishing season 7 of Bringing Up Bates.
With like the 4 most annoying episodes on the face of the planet. I don't know why these episodes were so annoying to me, but I think it's just like all of the like wedding planning episodes are annoying to me. Oh god.
Yeah. There is a lot of annoying things that went on in these episodes for sure. Let's get into it.
All right.
The first episode we watched is called The Ring, the Dress, and Ready for Next Steps.
Yep.
Classic.
Who'da thunk it? Josie and Kelton.
I know, right?
Tie the knot or engage the knot first.
Engage it. Engage the knot.
The knot is engaged.
So this episode starts with Kelton taking Bobby to a ring or a jewelry store to go engagement ring shopping for Josie. And he has already bought the diamond. And he just needs to get it set.
How do you know how to buy a random ass diamond at 21? And he bought it from Texas. Like, he went somewhere.
I don't know. Yeah, this is exactly what Kyler did, but he was older than that, and he literally bought the diamond on eBay.
I mean, that makes sense because, like,
That's the
Kyler
most
has,
Kyler
like,
move.
world experience and stuff, but I feel like the Fundies don't have, like, internet experience.
that's
like,
true.
Kelton could have just gotten, like, murdered in Texas for a blood diamond.
I bet his dad was like, you know what, son? You'd get a lot more bang for your buck if you do this. I'm sure his dad was involved in that.
Somehow. Oh, yeah. Or, like, it's like the friend of a friend in the congregation or something was selling a diamond.
Yeah.
Blah, blah.
But Josie was pretty specific about what she wanted, which good for her. So Kelton feels prepared about, what to ask for, and
it's a big fucking stone.
It is. It's a big rock for sure.
I was surprised that it was that big.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. But he gets things figured out, and he's excited and hopeful that it'll happen soon because they want to get married in like 5 months. So, yeah, which should happen pretty soon.
Oh, God. I just love how, like, no, we can't wait at all to get married because we have to be married to bang. It's so much. You guys are signing legal documents just to bang.
Yeah. You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything. You just
you just gotta say to someone else and say, hey, you want to do this? And the other one says, yeah. And you say, I do too. Cool. And then you do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's really not that hard. You do not have to get married to do that. I promise you.
I know. It's not like, oh, are you legally bound to me yet? Because that's the only time that I can put my dick in it.
That's it.
Legality.
Yeah.
So we go to Clinton, to Tori and Bobby's apartment, where they're packing shit up, and everyone comes over to help them pack, because obviously they haven't packed it all before this. They're still packing stuff in boxes as the moving truck is there. Of course.
This is another thing that reminded me of Kyler, because when we moved in together, I went over to his apartment the day before, and it was exactly as it had been every time I've ever been there. And I was like, what the fuck? I'd been packing my stuff for like weeks. Anyway, it worked out, but I cannot work under that stress. No,
that is not my vibe. I gotta do boxes, man. I left like half of my kitchen shit because I moved to West Virginia so quickly, like in like a 3 or 4 week turnaround. When I got the job, and I was like, oh, when I got back, I was like, shit, I left like literally half of my stuff.
So, this was the best part. Okay, so Gil and Kelly are over there helping out, and they're looking at pictures of their apartment and talking about their new apartment and talking about it and how it's like double the price of their first apartment. And so this is when Kelly suggests that they go on to AARP and use their budgeting tool, which like isn't AARP like specifically for like retired people?
Okay, so this is the thing. So it is technically for the silver foxes of the world for like 50 to 65 plus, but people on TikTok have discovered that like you can get a lot of the stuff before your retirement age. So I think Kelly just knew that before TikTok did.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. It's just
fine.
Like,
it's so weird. Like, just use any other budgeting tool.
Yeah, and it was like such an ad, an AARP ad. Like, oh, look at this amazing budgeting tool on AARP.
You just put in so like cringe. 5 numbers and click a button, and it tells you what those numbers mean. You're like, wow, oh, all right, amazing. That's not super helpful for a budget. You need like a monthly setup.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So then the rest of the family comes over to help them pack things into the moving truck, and they're heading to Nashville the next day. So there's lots of work to get done. But that's one of the biggest benefits of having a huge family is that you got a lot of hands to do the bad work.
Many hands make short work, or whatever the parable is. I don't know.
That sounds right. It makes sense to me, at least.
Yeah. Also, like having friends who have like fucking moving trucks.
Right, yeah.
I don't have anybody who has like a moving truck. Like I know people who have like trucks, so like if I need to move like a couch or something, but like just to have someone be like, yeah, no, I've got a white panel truck. Just I'll fill it up for you and drive it to Nashville for you.
Can't relate.
Who is this?
They also put one of their cars into the trailer too, so they had to figure that out, which like that's stressing me out.
It was so stressful.
I feel like I don't understand. I feel like they could have gotten somebody to just like drive that truck. You know, because they had like a
Yeah.
bunch of the family there to help them move. Like,
Yeah,
I don't-
like
or
half
to
of
drive
the
that car.
yeah, like half of the Bates family is of driving age.
Yeah.
They could
I
figure
don't
it
get
out.
It
No.
was a choice for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it fit. It was fine, I
It
guess.
did. Yeah.
Still
It
super
was
weird just to pack your car in the trailer and then pack your shit on top of the car, but
Yeah. Whatever.
whatever.
It worked, so
It's efficient, let's say that.
it's true. So then the other little part of this episode, Zach and Whitney have been married for 5 years, and they've decided they want to renew their wedding vows in front of the whole family. And so this means it's time for a trip to Renee's bridal.
Miss
We're going to Kentucky, y'all.
Miss Renee. I know in my heart I'm not a romantic. Like, I'm a very pragmatic person. But like, Chris and I have joked that we want to have a vow renewal because we want to have an 80s themed wedding where like I get to wear like
Hell
a pink,
yeah.
like a puffy blue prom dress, and he gets to wear like a blue suit and shit. But like, I
Hell
feel
yeah.
like most of the time vow renewals are just because someone cheated.
That does definitely, or like, yeah, if someone cheated, or like the spark is going out and you're like desperately trying to rekindle it.
Someone asked for a divorce.
That's what happened with John and Kate. They like renewed their vows like literally like 6 months before they got divorced.
I know, that's how it always kind of seems to happen, and
Yep.
that's maybe why I'm like thinking that in my head. Like, I'm sure there are lots of vow renewals that don't end in tears and are
Right.
just like reaffirming your love for each other and having a second party, but most of the time.
Especially when they're this early. Like, I can understand doing it when you're like 25, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like 5 years, it's not been that long. Like, we really need to revisit this? But I know that I think Whitney was talking about how both of her parents were not involved in the first wedding, which I don't know anything about.
I do. I know. I looked this up.
Good.
It's truly horrible. It's some of the worst things that the Bates have ever done. And I would like to have a rant about that.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll get into that in a
Yeah.
second. But I think that is a good reason. Like, my parents didn't get involved and they want to be involved. Like, I get that. So
you're going to eat those words when I tell you what the situation is. So
okay, cool. Never mind that.
Just want you to know.
Just in general, though. In general, I think that that like having family involved that weren't able to be involved in the first one, like especially if you had like a destination wedding or something. I don't know. I get that. So there are some good reasons,
and especially in the time of COVID, where you had had like a small wedding, and then you take advantage of a lull and have a bigger wedding for some other people, whatever. Yeah.
But I definitely whenever I hear like, oh, we're renewing our vows, I'm always like, my eyebrow raises a little bit. Like, which one of you fucked up?
Especially if it's like Zach and Whitney Bates' Facebook account.
Yeah,
shared
exactly.
Facebook vow renewal. Scary.
So then, so Zach, Josie, and Carlin are all there at Renee's bridal with her. And Whitney says she wants something mature and elegant and pretty, and not necessarily like a typical wedding dress that she would go for a wedding, because it's not like
a wedding. Yeah, she can just get a pretty white dress that she likes instead of a bridal dress.
I don't feel like a bride.
I liked all the dresses she tried on. I thought they were all very pretty.
Yeah. They were definitely, she tried on 3 dresses, and 2 of them definitely were like very like wedding dressy to me, at least. Like, they were lacy, they were very pretty, but they were very much like, oh, that's definitely a wedding dress. And then the other one she tried on that she ended up going with was more it wasn't as like formal. I don't think it was a little bit more, I don't even know.
It was more like classy really party, not bridal party.
Yeah, exactly. But it was really pretty, and I liked it a lot.
It was super pretty. I thought all of them were very nice. And I fucking hate that Miss Renee makes beautiful dresses, because
I know
she makes them for the worst people.
I know, for real. But yeah, I'm disappointed whenever we go to Renee's bridal, and I'm like, damn it, this is a great dress. I would have tried that dress on, maybe. So yeah, so they get their dress. Zach gets cookie crumbs all over the floor. You know,
it was kind of sweet to have Zach there. Like, I love it when like the grooms get to go and see some of the dresses and stuff.
I liked it, and he was really supportive of her, like telling her, you know, like I think back to, I forget who was wedding dress shopping, but when Nathan and like Lawson went and they were like just tearing apart everything, that is not how you do it. Like, Zach was telling her every time, even if it wasn't, you know, like, I'm sure he probably had one of the 3 that he liked better than, you know, the others, but he was
enthusiastic about all of them.
Exactly, which is how you should be. That is how your husband should be when you're trying on dresses in front of him.
And hopefully he's not just doing it because he was the one cheating.
Yeah, exactly. Let's hope.
So then the last part of this episode is in Nashville/Hendersonville, where Tori and Bobby are unloading the truck. So
Yes.
their church people in Nashville have come to help unload along with some of the Bates family. And
Yeah, so they got lots of help.
yeah, they get that unpacked out of the truck very quickly.
Yeah. I loved this quote when they get there and they're like looking at everything and they get excited and Tori just goes, "Everything is just high quality here in Hendersonville." And I'm like, is this an ad for Hendersonville?
I don't know.
The way she said it was so weird.
Everything's high quality in Hendersonville. Come to Mattress Firm.
Yeah, really. It's like, girl, you don't need to sell us.
Right. Okay.
Yes. So next episode is called Baby Fever and Proposal Decisions. So we start out this episode over at the church because Carpenters for Christ have arrived to work on building the new church building.
Yep. They have to show up at 5:30 in the morning, which all of the Bates are very displeased about because they can't run on Bates time because there are other people involved who are going to be there.
Yeah. To be fair, I would be very displeased to hear that I had to be anywhere at 5:30, but I would still be there at 5:30.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I would sit and pout in the car, but I'd be there at 5:25.
Exactly, for sure.
I might not have slept the entire night before because I was afraid of oversleeping, but
yes, if I know I have to get up early the next day, I just don't sleep. It's great.
I get that vibe.
But most of the kids 12 and up are there to help out. And then there's a bunch of obviously people from Carpenters from Christ, so they've got like a whole ass team there to work on it. And the goal is to get it all up in about a week.
Yep.
So.
And of course it starts pouring the rain.
Of course, it always does. I feel like, I mean, it's Tennessee. It's like the same type here. Yeah,
spring and summer, it's just raining all the time. When it's not raining, it's 10,000 degrees and steamy.
Exactly. Yeah, I prefer the rain for sure.
But I did hear them actually mention the steeple, that the steeple is going to go up on this building.
Fuck. I'll believe it when I see it, okay?
I will too.
Because, yeah.
It's
but
going to be great.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
So they have to kind of work in between rain showers and stuff. And while they're doing, like, obviously working on the building, the men from Carpenters for Christ are also, like, basically teaching the boys how to work, which I'm not sure if that was part of the job or if they just ended up doing that.
I mean,
but
as someone who has been on a religious house building trip to Mexico, they do teach you a lot because they want you to come back and do it again or, like, work with them or volunteer with them. So
that's probably just, like, part of their thing. Yeah.
They want to get these young, godly boys.
God. Ugh.
Threatening aura.
Threatening for sure. Do you have anything else to say about that part? Okay. So then we go over to see Erin. She talked about kind of adjusting to life with 3 kids and said that at first it was very hard, but things are starting to get kind of in a rhythm now and a little bit, I don't know, more normal.
Yeah. I'm sure anytime you had a kid, it causes a fuck up in your scheduling.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I've heard specifically that going from 2 to 3 is one of the hardest adjustments because you're officially outnumbered and you have more kids than hands now.
Yeah, so you can't just grab all of them and hold them on your hips unless you get really weird and smash 3 children against yourself.
Well, and especially since all of Erin's kids are like a year apart, like they are all like they all have a lot of needs that she needs to meet. It's not like her kids are like 10 and 8 and can like do stuff for themselves.
Exactly. Nobody can even like open the door for themselves or go to the bathroom by themselves or take a bath by themselves.
I'm so stressed thinking about that.
Right? No, don't do it. Have kids spaced apart if you're gonna have 13 kids.
Yeah, and maybe just don't have 13 kids.
No, have like 4. Space them out. If you want a big family, have like 4 kids.
Yeah.
That's
big. I think I agree that 4 is like the last like acceptable number of kids. After that it's like my grandparents had 5 kids and it's like, what are you doing? That that was too many. 5
kids is only acceptable if one of them was like twins.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
5 pregnancies.
Yes, 5 pregnancies. No, thank you. Don't do that.
Yeah.
I think human women should only probably have 4 pregnancies to term.
Yeah. That seems reasonable to me.
4 babies pushed out seems like enough stress on the pelvis.
Yeah. Whew.
Yeah.
But then, so Whitney comes over and brings Bradley and Casey to come visit, and they talk a little bit about the vow renewal, and Erin teases Whitney about when she's gonna have 3, and Whitney wants to have a 3rd, and it's a whole they have a baby fever talk.
Yeah, Whitney wants another baby, and Tori, they're like, oh, Tori's gonna struggle so much not being near us when she has her baby. I'm like, cool, you guys are weird.
Yeah, like, okay.
She can text you for support or like call you.
She'll be fine.
Yeah, she'll be fine.
She's not that far.
No, and she has a whole big church group that will support her that I'm sure all have had a billion kids too.
Yeah, so then, of course, it's time for a talk. What is it called? Big talk? Large talk. Gil and Kelly go over to Kelton's to talk to him and his dad about engagement plans.
We know that Josie has already established her parameters for when she wants the wedding, which is October. They have that weird like yellow light discussion about if a yellow light means speed up or slow down for this whole part. Because Gil's like, I give you the yellow light on this. And it's like, I get it. I do get that joke. That's kind of a funny thing because yellow does mean like it's going to be red soon, but most of the time we all just speed up through it.
They like hurry up before it gets red. Yeah.
Cross the line.
But apparently Josie's been just as impatient as Tori was about getting her ring.
Oh, yeah.
Which is great to hear. I know.
Well, it's their only goal in life is to get married and have babies. So like it's like getting accepted to college. You're just waiting for that day.
God, that's sad.
So then Kelly brings up the fact that Josie's bucket list trip is to Utah.
Which of course it is.
Of course it is. The only place more fundamentalist than Tennessee is Utah.
I know. For real. But she says it's because she really likes the desert and the
lots of Utah is very pretty. Beautiful. She probably just saw a picture of Arches and was like, yes, Utah. Like Arches National Park, beautiful. The rest of Utah, just a salt flat.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than the rocky part. But
right. So Kelly had been planning to take Josie to Utah for her birthday, which is in August. But she's decided maybe we should move this up and we'll do a birthday engagement trip and you can get in on it. We can surprise her. It could be a whole thing.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems so weird to like be like, yes, this is your birthday and engagement trip. But it's fine. She got a fun trip.
Yeah, that's true. It's better than some, people's engagements.
Yeah, but I got proposed to at a waterfall in Iceland, so could be better.
That's pretty good. You can't really beat that. Yeah, that's good.
But I did almost fall into the waterfall because my hip hurt. Like I sat down on the rocks and then like my hip like popped out of the socket and I tried to stand up to hug Chris and I just like stumbled and he's like, "Oh God."
Well, almost is the key word there.
Yes,
so
I'm still here with us. I did not die in an icy Iceland waterfall.
Thank God. You just got engaged.
Yeah.
So
I just got betrothed.
I got proposed to in front of the Ohio River. Try not to get too jealous.
I'm super jealous. You got river monsters in there. You got those big catfish with 3 eyeballs.
I know. Just a bunch of mutant creatures for sure. Okay, so then Kelton shows Gil and Kelly the ring that he has gotten, and it's huge.
Yeah, Kelly's freaking out about how big the diamond is. She's like, oh my God.
Yeah, you know that she's never seen one like that before.
Didn't know they made him that big.
Yeah, but it looked like a nice ring too. Like it was just a simple like diamond shape. It was like
I don't know what it's called.
At an
like
angle. It was a square diamond, but at an angle to where it was like a diamond shape.
Yes.
And like just a plain like thin diamond band. It was pretty.
Yeah, it was really pretty. It's better than a lot of the rings we've seen.
For sure.
So
then the last part of this episode, we go back to the church.
Back to Bible Baptist
Church.
It's going up fast, but it's not going to be finished when they leave. It's just waterproofed because it has like the wood roof on and the sides on. and they have to leave the metal roof unfinished, and they'll have to like drywall inside the thing and do all the inside stuff and figure out electrical and plumbing. And yeah, seems like a perfect project for the Bates.
I was gonna say, I have no faith in this happening anytime soon.
Mm-mm.
And even Addie calls them out and says that when it was just the bathrooms that needed fixed in the church, it took them a full year to do that. Just fix the bathrooms. So this is a lot of work to leave on the Bates, who are notoriously not very good at project planning. So good luck to them.
Yep.
And this is precisely why I don't think we're going to get the steeple, because if they still have to do all this stuff, they're going to forget about the steeple.
Maybe the steeple will be the only thing and it'll come crashing through one day.
I hope so. I'm seeking justice for this steeple, because it's a shame that it's just like in a
good steeple
room somewhere.
Just being,
it's trying to do its job.
Yeah, it's trying to steep.
Steeple got to steep.
Steeple got to steep.
All right. So then, are you done with that episode?
I am done with that episode.
Okay, we're done.
We're done.
Okay, the next episode, blue or pink? What do you think?
God. Oh, God. I am sick of every single gender reveal episode that we have ever watched. I'm just over them. They're like, we have to do something so creative, and I'm like, it doesn't matter.
You don't have to do anything. Like, that's the thing. You do not have to do a gender reveal. You can literally just like text people. You could like,
if you want to be fancy, take a picture in front of an "It's a Boy" thing with some balloons.
Exactly. There's so many things you can do, and you don't like. If you want to do a gender reveal party, whatever. I don't really get it, but whatever. But like, it seems like they think that they have to do one.
Yeah, it's necessary. It's 100%. We gotta go.
I promise. But all of the family has gathered, and because Erin has planned a gender reveal party for Tori and Bobby, and they're at a park. Mm-hmm. Tori and Bobby already know what the gender is, and they're everyone is kind of like annoying them and trying to get them to tell.
They're so fucking annoying. They're like, oh, she, he, she, he. Yeah. Oh, when she comes, and they're like, haha, we got you, and it's like, just let them have their secret.
Yeah, just
couples
wait, like,
are allowed to have their secrets.
A few minutes, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Remember, like, it could be worse. Remember how Dessa, like, her and Ben find out the gender and then don't tell anyone, and they're just annoying about it the whole time. Could be worse, guys. Just be patient. Could be worse. So then everyone has to pick either a pink or a blue clothespin to wear, and get a corresponding cupcake depending on whether they think it's a boy or a girl.
I hate to say it, but I would have always picked girl because I hate how the blue dyes the inside of your mouth. I can always taste it.
That's totally fair. Yeah, that is fair. So then the actual gender reveal part, they ended up filling a balloon with colored powder. They had bought a baseball that had powder, but it didn't get there in time because I'm sure they ordered it like 2 days before.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure Tori and Bobby hardly even wanted this party because, like, Tori doesn't like parties and doesn't like being the center of attention.
She doesn't like attention. Yeah.
So, yeah.
But, yeah, they filled a balloon and Tori pitches it to Bobby.
And it worked, surprisingly.
Yeah, I was expecting it to just like fall on the ground.
Yeah, just like floop.
But yeah,
it's a boy.
It's blue.
It's blue, and it's gonna be Bobbert Smith IV. And they're gonna call him Cade.
Yeah, Robert Ellis Smith IV. Called Cade because I guess Cade means fourth generation, which. I mean, I get it, but
I don't think it does.
Yeah, I'm so thankful that neither me nor my husband, believe it or not, my husband Kyler was not named after a family member.
Oh, wow.
His
really?
Parents actually he's named after a baseball player's last name. But anyway. So I'm so thankful that I don't have that like burden on me to like pass on names because I love names, and so there are lots of names that I love and none of them are in my family tree.
Yeah. Well, because they weren't very exciting with names for a long time, most of our families.
Yes,
they were like 50 Johns,
Robert.
Lots of Janes, lots of Roberts, lots of like, normie names. And then you finally get some more exciting names mixed in there.
Yeah, exactly.
When they're not biblical.
I know that this is a thing, though, that like people, especially if they're like the fourth or fifth generation, they come up with like a nickname. But like I have a friend who is the fifth. I think he's Charles, maybe. Charles, whatever, the fifth. But he goes by Quentin, which that one makes sense because Quent. 5. But I don't really know about Cade, but whatever.
Yeah, I hate the name Cade because it's also what all of the like not hipster Chuggy moms are naming their kids.
Yes, Cade and Kale and all that.
Kale.
Yeah,
I know a Kale and a Cade.
Yeah, I also do you know what Bobby and Tori's other son's name is?
What?
It's worse. It's Coulter with a K.
I got a Colt 45 and 2 suicides.
They just have questionable name choice. They have a daughter named Charlotte, which is a very
That's much better.
Normal name. Yeah. Maybe they were going with a K thing. Maybe one day there'll be a Kyler Smith.
It's because they want their 3 boys to be the KKK.
Oh God, no. Yikes.
Can't spell Charlotte with a K though.
That's true. That would be awful.
Charlotte.
So speaking of awful K names, Kelton is talking about his engagement plans with his family, and I don't even know. There's so much going into this, and
so
it like
much.
stresses me out.
I mean, at least this is the engagement. I would die if this was the fucking courtship.
That is true, and I guess it does make sense because, like we talked about, the
he had that
courtship
huge
proposal
bridge
was
thing.
So extra. They did the little gondola ride, and then they did the bridge, and it was like, this should just be the proposal. Like you're setting yourself up
they've
for
made their
failure
proposal even more dramatic, where they are going to Utah, and he is bringing pictures for each stop that they go on and a letter so that they can make a little scrapbook together at the end. And I don't know what it is with fundamentalists and scrapbooking, but they really fucking love it.
It's so wholesome.
So wholesome. You just have to think about your family and glue their little faces onto pages and think about your family some more. Which, you know, I love my family, but I don't think about them all the time.
I have other things going on in my life, okay?
Yeah, sometimes I think about war.
Yeah, exactly. It's been great. And also, in addition to the scrapbook, he's also got a charm bracelet. I think it's like a Pandora bracelet.
It is, yeah.
And every stop, he's going to give her a charm. And I guess each stop and each charm signifies like a stage in their relationship. Yeah.
He's got the bridge for courtship, the coffee for their coffee date discussions before they decided to get married, then the best friends charm because they were best friends first, and then the infinity charm because they're going to be together forever.
Right. And then he also we'll get to that, but he also had a little airplane charm. But anyway.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the airplane charm. I hadn't written that one down. Also an airplane charm.
So yeah, he's got everything all planned out, and it's gonna be a lot.
It's gonna be so much. It's so dramatic, but you know, that's these people.
I guess that's life, yeah. So then we go over to Zach and Whitney's, and we have basically a Cheerios ad for a few minutes. I don't even know what this was about. They're like getting their kids ready to have like a day, and they're like, oh, but we have to have our breakfast. And so they're sitting down eating Cheerios, and then so Whitney goes, this is the only whole grain cereal I can get them to eat. And then they go on and on about how amazing Cheerios are, and it's like, oh my God.
I feel like I blacked out during that because I didn't write anything about that, but I do vaguely remember it. I think I was just like, what is happening?
It was so weird, and nothing happened. They literally just ate Cheerios and were like, let's start our day. And then it went to the next thing.
Right? I don't know.
It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
It was so weird. This whole Zach and Whitney vow renewal thing is weird. I'm so excited I get to rant about it very soon.
Yes. So the last part of this episode is the start of the engagement trip. So Kelton shows up at Josie's work with flowers, and he tells her, hey, we're leaving.
With roses
right now.
And cactuses.
Yes.
Because I don't know who decided that Utah has cactuses, but it really doesn't. It has prickly pears, and they're like saguaros and everything. I'm like, no, it's too fucking cold in Utah.
That's what I thought, but I didn't want to say anything because I've never been to Utah, and I don't really know a lot about it. But I was like,
no.
The kind of cactuses they're talking about are more like Arizona,
Mexico,
like
New Mexico,
like that area.
Yeah,
and Utah's way up there.
Yeah, Utah's way up there and very cold, and just has prickly pears and nothing. Like most of their deserts are just like the crazy like nothing deserts.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe Josie like thought she wanted to go to Utah, but really just wanted to go to like New Mexico.
She wanted to go to Santa Fe, ended up in Moab.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, I love how she starts, and in one of her talking heads, she's like, I'm not someone who likes to be surprised. I like to plan things. And it's like, maybe this is not the best, like...
Everything that they do to Josie, poor Josie,
like, if
and
you
Tori.
don't like surprises... Yeah, and this has happened multiple times where, like, they've gone to something and Josie's been, like, visibly uncomfortable because
she doesn't know what's
like...
happening and she wants to be prepared, and, like, she probably has anxiety. And who would have thought that maybe a middle child girl of a 19 children family would have some control issues? Like,
yeah, all I'm saying is it might have been better if they told her, like, even the day before, like, hey, this is happening, get stuff together. Because then, like, I don't know. Oh, that's in the next episode. But, like, when she's packing, it's like she's, like, literally, they have no time.
Yeah, you can tell she's, like, on the verge of, like, tears about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not like they're driving. They're going on an airplane.
Right, yeah. Maybe if somebody doesn't like to be surprised, like, maybe don't surprise them if you're trying to do something nice for them.
Yeah, like, you can leave when you're going to propose as a surprise, and you can tell them what's going to happen. Like, hey, we're going to go here, then we're going to go out to Moab, and then we're going to do some Jeep stuff, and then we're going to do this the next day and this the next day, and, like, whatever.
Yeah, I'm somebody, like, I would not do well with somebody being like, hey, we're going on a trip and I'm not telling you anything we're doing. Like, I need to know. I don't, that gives me so much anxiety.
I would barf in the airport. I would barf in the airport.
So he gives her the charm bracelet at her work, and this has the airplane charm on it to signify the trip that they're about to take. And
we're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship.
And then Gil and Kelly also come in, and they present her with a birthday cake, and this is where it's kind of like the idea of it being both a birthday trip, even though it's not her birthday, and an engagement trip. Like, it comes to
God forbid you just go on a vacation with your child because you like to go on vacation with them.
Yeah, you don't have to have a reason. It's true. All right, so the last episode, a monumental proposal. I was, like, so dreading watching this episode. I don't know why.
And it was a 45-minute long episode. It was brutal.
And it's just like, I just knew the amount of stuff that Kelton had planned, and I was, like, exhausted by it all. And but
again,
here we go.
Not a romantic.
It's no,
can't do it.
This not for me.
No.
So Josie rushes on home to pack because they have to leave, like, immediately, and she hasn't packed, and apparently they're not telling her anything that they're doing, so she has no idea what to pack, so she's just, like, frantically grabbing piles of clothes.
For this part, why did no one say, hey, Carlin, pack for Josie for these 5 activities, and then, help her get all of her, like, toiletries and shit together, like...
Yeah, 100%. Like, why? Yeah, it was just, like, should have been thought about more.
Nope, never.
But she does get her stuff together, and...
This part is really funny because they ask all the talking head, like, little kids, why does Josie love Utah so much? And everyone's like, I don't fucking know. And Carlin's like...
Nobody knows.
Maybe she can take good pictures there? I don't know.
Literally, nobody knows. I don't even think Josie knows because her reason is cactuses, and there are not cactuses there.
Not cactuses.
So they make it to the airport, and Josie and Kelton actually get to sit next to each other on the plane because their parents are
literally next to them. There could be funny business, like holding of hands.
Oh my God, no way.
They could kiss.
They could kiss. Then it would just all be ruined.
And God would shoot the plane down. Sorry, you guys kissed. Everyone's dead.
Sorry.
That's probably what they think would happen, honestly.
What if we told you the world didn't revolve around you and your decisions? Like, not... It's fine. It's really
I know.
fine.
Like, if you think that God can, like, see everyone and take care of all of them, I don't think that, like, a relatively fine family in Tennessee is going to be his main concern when there's, like, a vast amount of other terrible things going on.
War.
Yeah.
And awful things.
Yeah. War, famine, But nope. God only helps those who are white and Christian.
Exactly. They're the only ones that matter.
Don't you know God is white?
That's true. God is definitely white.
God is definitely white.
So they get to their condo in Utah and take all their bags in. And as not Tori, what's her name? Josie is getting settled into her room. Kelton is putting together the first packet of scrapbook stuff and getting things together. And this packet represents when they were best friends.
Yep, when they were just friends, when she was 15 and he was 19.
Exactly.
BFFs.
Yes. 14 and 19.
Sorry,
actually,
14 and 19, 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Really, really great.
Yeah.
Not creepy at all.
Also, at this point, when they open up this fucking packet, he says, I kept faking it until I made it, and then we were best friends? And I was like, so you didn't even like her? Like, you're just saying that you were, like, attracted to a 14-year-old, and you became her friend in order to later marry her.
Yeah, that's definitely
Kelton.
what it felt like.
Yeah.
And he says it in a way that, like, we're supposed to find it super romantic.
Yeah,
and,
like funny. Like, haha, he didn't even like her when they were first together. Haha. Yeah. So funny. I hate my ball and chain. Marriage. What a prison.
Yeah. Imagine that. Being like, you don't have to get married, right? You really don't.
You can just bang.
Yeah, exactly.
But not when she's 14 and you're 19. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Kelton talks about how the first time he saw Josie, which was when he was 19 and she was 14, he was absolutely floored at how beautiful she was.
She was probably like a year into having her period. Like, she's a child.
Yeah, it's bad.
I hate this so much. I hate men. Sorry.
Same. So then Kelton gives Josie the first packet and the charm. And she's all,
verklempt.
So excited about it all.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good word to use.
And he says something like, well, I just know that your favorite things are letters and memories. And I'm like, oh, okay. Do people not like having memories? Like good memories?
I hate, well, I guess what the memory is. But yeah, it's like happy memories are like, it's like, it's like chocolate.
Yeah, like it's not bad. It's always going to be good to have a happy memory.
Yeah, it's what you use to summon a Patronus. Like, we all have to have them.
Yeah. And some people don't get them, like Whitney.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, no. I'm scared.
We're almost there.
I'm scared for what's coming. So then the next day, they go to a local coffee shop, which Kelton has, like, planted pictures of them and,
Again, for like a very anxious, nervous person who doesn't like surprises, having and seeing pictures of yourself in a random establishment in Utah might be a little disconcerting.
I would be so creeped out if I just walked into a coffee shop like the other side of the country from where I lived and there's just a picture of me and my boyfriend.
I would literally turn around and leave. I'd be like, this is not a place for me.
But of course Josie thinks it's cute though, and they sit down at a table and the waiter brings them their drinks and then someone hands them the next packet. Which this contained the charm, which was a coffee cup, which symbolizes the time that they spent together getting to know each other and falling in love with each other as boyfriend and girlfriend.
I don't remember exactly what she said, but in my notes I was saying that she struggled to say it was cute. She's like, oh, it's so nice. On this one, it was good.
So nice. God, yeah, I hate... Oh, there's some good scenes in Love is Blind too, where I had to literally fast forward through them because there's one particular contestant who loves to serenade, and I just can't handle it.
He's the dude with guitar. He's dude with guitar
and ukulele.
Yeah, God, horrible.
Yeah, it's cringe. I had to fast forward through a couple of them, but it's the same type of thing. Like watching somebody like getting showered with something that they're not particularly interested in is like literally the worst thing I've ever had to live through. Yeah.
Also, Kelly is using, I don't know, they said the name of the app, but I'd never heard of it before, where they're live streaming all of this to the family members and stuff. So that's why she's like sitting at the table, like looking at them with the phone and doing like this, like scanning the phone around them because she's live streaming all of these.
That's weird. Also, that those live streams fucking sucked. You know that Kelly cannot live stream to save her life.
It's just the table and then her screaming.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's how my mom would do it. It's just how moms of that generation are. Like,
yeah, the big thing starts happening and she just throws her phone down.
Exactly. So then he tells her their plans for the rest of the day, which are to go on an off-road 4x4 Jeep tour of Moab State Park.
Which I love that they had to clarify. They're 4Runners, not Jeeps.
Yes.
Toyota
Yes.
4Runners. Thank you very much.
Yes.
But we get a little respite
Interlude
into the Bates house where Erin and Carlin are trying to redo the whole house. And Carlin is wearing a fucking Liberty University hoodie the entire time, and I wanted to die. She didn't even go there.
Who knows? I don't even know. But I love, the original plan was just for them to like straighten things up and get things organized, and of course they just decided to like redecorate and repaint the whole.
They painted the living room. They reorganized the living room. It does look way better. The before and after pictures. It does look way better, but like
it does.
They were staying up until like 4 a.m. trying to get this shit done because they're like, I'm gonna do it in the 3 days that they're gone to Utah.
They stress me out so much. All of them. They are all so alike, and I hate it.
Yeah, they're the people who start projects and never finish them, and I am also that person, but I know not to start the projects now.
Exactly. And I have the whole project planned out. I just haven't done it yet. That's the difference.
Yeah. And I get tired halfway through sometimes. You know.
Yeah. I'm chronically ill, okay? I need naps. I need a lot of naps. It's part of my medicine. Give me a break.
Yeah, napping is good. Napping is a project.
Yeah, exactly. Napping is my job.
Mm-hmm. It's a good job.
So then going back to Utah, Mike, who is Kelton's dad, he gives her name, I think her name was Charlotte, who was like the lead driver of their expedition, this packet.
The lesbian.
Yeah, she was awesome.
The wonderful, beautiful, tattooed lesbian that these fucking fundies are like, here, put this somewhere in the tower arch or fucking whatever. And she's just like, cool, yeah. Like, they want you to go to hell, but you'll do it. All right.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, whatever. I hated how Mike was, I don't know if he's like this with everyone or if this just came off that way, but he was like, I really went out on a limb. I really trusted Charlotte with that. There are valuables in there. And it's like, dude, it's a packet of pictures.
It's because she's a lesbian. He thinks
that's
that
what I was
she's
wondering.
Automatically a sinner of the worst variety.
I was low-key wondering, like, if her, like, tattoos, I think she had, like, a septum piercing, too, like, if that made her think, like, oh, she's gonna take it and run. It's like, I don't think she wants these pictures of your
Nobody
son
wants
and
chaste
girlfriend.
hand-holding pictures of people that they don't
and
know.
A Pandora charm.
Yeah, a Pandora charm. Oh, it costs a whole $50. No, you can't resell that shit. You could probably in Utah. A Mormon would buy it from you.
True. So then they get into their vehicles. So they have Kelton, Josie, and Kelly in one car, and then Gil and Mike are in another. And watching this, I would literally die on this because I get such severe motion sickness. Like when we were gone this weekend, we were like in the middle of West Virginia, so you know how it can get.
Yeah.
And I was like gonna die, and it wasn't even that bad. And I was looking at this, and I was like, I would literally be passed out.
You weren't
covered
off-roading.
in my own vomit.
You were just on a twisty road and like trying
exactly.
not to barf.
My body cannot handle this, but more power to the people who can.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to do it, but I would definitely injure myself now that I'm over the age of 30. Get out like, oh, my back.
Yeah, you'd be fucked for a while there,
I'd be like that dude who had to leave Survivor because the boat hit a wave too hard and he impacted one of his vertebrae. That would be me.
Yep.
Yeah. Freak accident. Some weird freak accident.
Happens. So then, is this the part where you get to go on your rant?
This is where I get to go on my rant.
Hell yeah. So we're back in Tennessee, and we are going with Zach and Whitney to a floral shop to work on some details. I guess the person who owns the floral shop also owns the venue they're getting married at, so they're kind of like doing everything.
Doing the whole
together.
thing. Yeah. It seems like it's going to be cute. I don't know, they're going to have a little family table, which is nice. And Zach's like, I won't. He's like, we got to sit. If there's food, I'm going to be sitting at that table. I'm not going to be walking around. I've got to eat.
Yeah, all he cared about was the food, which I totally get.
Yeah,
that is one of the more important parts.
I mean, if you're planning the party, if you are the star of the party, you should get the best food of the party.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. It's your party.
It's your party. You get the good cut. But, so we're doing this all because Whitney's parents weren't at the main wedding. So I did a lot of sleuthing that became very depressing. So Whitney was adopted at 13 by a fundy family who had like 11 other kids. And, so she was there, but she had known this family tangentially through her biological family, and the reason she cut contact with them is because at 13 she was taken by CPS because they had abused her so badly for all 13 years of her life that they took a 13-year-old away and put her in a new home and banned them from seeing her.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. And so Kelly Bates, after she figured this out from after the wedding and everything, that the biological parents weren't there, Kelly Bates says, I'm going to call your bio parents and we're going to get you guys to work it out. And then she starts telling Whitney that it is probably, so it's not, we don't know this for sure, but this is generally what they say in, the books that they teach kids and girls and stuff, is that any abuse that you suffer is your fault because you were testing your parents and they were trying to make you godly.
That's great.
Mm-hmm. So, yep.
So it's her abusive parents she's talking about.
Yeah.
Not her adoptive parents.
Yeah, her adoptive parents were at her wedding, and Kelly said that was not enough because your biological parents are the ones God gave you, and so you have to have them there.
That's so fucked up. Mm-hmm. I hate that so much. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so apparently one of the girls on Free Ginger had talked to the adoptive mom of Whitney Bates. So I think it's the Owens family or Mick Owens or something like that. But yeah, she's like, Whitney was so great. She came from such a bad situation. She came to us and was not in a good way. And now the Bates are like, you have to love your adoptive family, and they aren't inviting. You have to love your biological family, and they aren't even inviting the adoptive family. They are not coming to the vow renewal.
Oh my God, that's fucking awful.
Mm-hmm.
For so many reasons.
There's
100%. If Whitney felt the need to reach out, if she wanted to do this for herself, for closure.
No, she just got browbeat enough by IBLP fucking propaganda that it was all her fault and she should forgive them.
Jesus, that's so sad too, because Whitney seems like such a nice, sweet.
Sweet girl.
I genuinely like Whitney. She seems like, I don't agree with the things that she agrees with, but she seems like a nice person. I don't have a problem with her, and it makes me, it's just very sad.
Yeah.
Because she also does seem like the type that would let her, which I know she doesn't have much of a choice, but she would probably not stand up for herself as much as some of the other.
Well, and so much of the shit that you internalize when you are a child of an abusive person, you internalize that shit, and it makes it so easy to use that against you when you find somebody else who's like IBLP Kelly Bates being like, your parents given to you by God are the parents that you should cherish, not the ones who rescued you from a bad situation.
Weren't those also given to you by God, though?
No, they were given to her by CPS.
See, that's what I don't understand that argument. Because,
I don't either.
But then God intervened and gave her a new life, so...
With a very Christian family, with, I think, a quiverful family, even, because I think they had 11 kids, so...
Yeah, what the fuck?
I know.
That's the same argument I don't understand, that extreme Christians make, that I don't need a vaccine because God will protect me. Well, God also created the person who made the vaccine.
God also created the virus.
God is telling you to give the vaccine, okay? Just get the vaccine, please.
Please. But yeah, so it's a whole bad feeling. And then also Whitney said oh, my dad didn't get to walk me down the aisle, which feels like another Kelly thing. Your father missed such an important experience of his daughter not walking down the aisle.
You earned that if your daughter, not that every person has to have that, but that's something you earn.
Yeah. If
I had my dad walk me down the aisle, not because I felt like I had to have my dad walk me down the aisle, but because I felt like he's the person I would want to do that. He's my dad. That just felt natural to me.
Yep.
But it's not it shouldn't be this guy, was my sperm donor. So
he's the one who truly owns me to give me away to my husband. He's the one who truly owns my DNA.
God, I
hate it.
So
I hate
up.
it. And then of course, the whole thing where IBLP people, you're not supposed to adopt before you have children of your own. And if you're infertile and unable to have children, you are not supposed to adopt because God has decided you are not going to be a parent.
That is so fun. Imagine telling Michael that.
Yeah.
Imagine telling Michael, who seems like literally the best.
Yeah.
She would be probably the most hands-on mother, just so good with children. Imagine telling her, God doesn't think you should be a mom.
Yeah, God doesn't want you to be a mom, so you shouldn't even adopt.
But that's
oh yeah, I know. It fucking killed me. I went into the deep channels of the hell for this, and I was like, just had to like cleanse myself and watch some Survivor after doing this.
Yeah, mood for sure. God, I hate that so much. Yeah, that makes. I was wondering about that.
I was
and
so curious.
It's
I
way
had
worse
to
than I
just look it
thought.
up. I was like, is it just like they live far or they're
Yeah.
estranged for some weird reason? No, because they were abusive and she was taken away by CPS and rehomed. Which takes a lot.
Yeah, and like, yeah, CPS does not just rehome. Like, there's so many people who probably should be rehomed that are not because they don't meet whatever criteria. So, like, it had to have been bad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like uncontrovertible or whatever the word is. Like, where it's like she probably showed up at a hospital and had scans and she had like broken bones and bruises or something. Like, fuck. Gross.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
I hate that so much.
Hate it so much. And now, of course, just, yep, you've got to have a wedding just for these parents who abused you your whole life.
That's, I have no words. No words.
So terrible.
Oh, God.
Anyways, we're out of my rant now. I have released it.
It's out there in the world and it's awful and I hate it, but I'm glad you brought it up because that adds a lot of context.
Yeah. Yep. Terrible.
So then going back to a happier thing, I guess. So we're at Arches National Park, and Kelly is losing her goddamn mind in the off-roading Jeep, which I
also love that Gil knew that Kelly was screaming from the other car. He's like, I know she's in there screaming.
I just know.
Except again, he said that fucking weird ass thing. I just love to hear my wife scream.
He literally said, that's one of my favorite things.
Is when she goes,
to hear his wife scream.
He made that noise.
There's a lot to unpack there, and I hate all of it.
Yeah. It's so gross. I mean, I'm glad that they love each other. And
great.
Please don't put that on the TV for me.
Just stop talking.
I don't want to hear about this. Like, that's, again, it's such a weird fucking thing that all these fundamentalists are so anti-sex, but then make these, like, there's no other way that you can read, I love hearing my wife scream.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Unless you're a murderer.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's just.
I think Gil's just horny, not a murderer.
I hope so. I hope that's all he is.
He does have a lot of chainsaws.
Yeah. So then they get to Double Arches and they get out to look and, walk around and everything. And this is where one of the packets has been hidden. And Charlotte did her job. She didn't take it.
She take it. Where those sinful lesbians didn't steal your son's pictures.
But thankfully Kelton finds it and gives it to Josie. And this packet represents their courtship. And he gives her the little bridge charm. And
Yep. It's a packet.
That's that. It's a packet.
He did ask her, what do you like about the rocks? Like, they're trying to figure out why she likes Utah and why she's, like, freaking out about being here. Because she did seem to really like it all while she was there.
She did.
She knew what Utah was and wanted it. I don't get it, but...
She knew what Utah was and wanted it.
She didn't think she wanted Santa Fe. She wanted Utah.
I guess, yeah.
He's like, what do you like about the rocks? And she just says, they're artistic.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Still no one knows why she likes Utah, but
still don't make sense, but if she likes it, that's great.
She's having a nice time.
Happy for her. So then we go back to Tennessee for a minute, and poor Chad has been recruited into this project that he did not even know was happening until he got there.
Until he got called on his way home from work. Hey, can you come over and work on this giant project with us?
Yeah. But of course he does it, and he doesn't complain. And
hangs all the curtain rods and everything.
I'm honestly shocked that they got everything done in time, but
it's only because
Chad
of Chad.
was helping, I guess it makes sense. Yeah,
Chad will get shit done, and he'll cancel all the other plans. He's like, "No, we're not doing that. We're just finishing this."
Yeah, exactly. He's definitely the most logical of any of them.
He's the project manager of the Bates family,
for sure. I loved Callie's quote, which. When it's all done, she says, it's a lot more like a real home and not a color swatch when they finish the project.
Yeah, it was a very painfully 90s living room.
Yeah, it was bad, but it does look a lot better and cleaner and nicer now. Yeah. So good for them.
Good for them. And, nice thing to do for your family, I guess.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So then it's time.
It's time.
We are back in Utah, and they're at Tower Arch next.
Why is it called Tower Arch? Because of that tower thing on top of it? Was uttered from...
Yeah. Maybe.
Possibly. The Tower Arch is named for the tower on the arch.
I wonder what Double Arch is named for.
I don't know. Maybe there's 3 arches.
Yeah, who knows? So the sun is quickly setting, so they kind of got to get quick with this. But he gives her the last packet, and he gives her the last charm, which is their infinity symbol.
Uh-huh.
And then he, like, tells her to, like, hold it up to the sun, and you'll see a message. And so she does it, but there's no message.
He just was doing it so she would turn around so he could get on one knee.
Yeah. It's like, okay. But he is on one knee and says all the normal cheesy stuff.
In his weird, sexy voice that he does when he's like...
I hate his voice.
Because, like, at the beginning, he'll be like, you know, I just really love you, da-da-da-da-da, and it'd be, like, kind of annoying, but then he'll just be like, you're my best friend.
Yeah, it sounds like he's gargling rocks. I hate it.
It's like a pilot is proposing to you.
For real.
Got a proposal here in Moab, Utah.
But of course, Josie says yes, and she gets her big ass ring, and everyone is happy.
And they don't get a kiss. Still,
they don't get to kiss. No, I think they get to hold hands now.
So fucking weird. So fucking weird.
Can you imagine being engaged to somebody and not being able to kiss them?
Right? Like, isn't the first thing that you do when you get engaged to, like, kiss your partner?
Yeah, it's
at least, like, top 5 things.
Yeah.
Like, cry, scream, say yes.
Throw up, you know, then you kiss.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's happening. It's really happening. And they only have, like, 5 months to get, not even 5 months probably now, because 4 months maybe. I think it's June when this happens. They want to get married in October. So 4 months to get everything together. Which...
It's not the shortest time that Miss Renee has done for a dress.
It's true, but it's like, why do they do this to themselves? I know it's because they want to screw, but it's just why?
Why? God, just let them be married when they get engaged.
Yeah, exactly. That's good enough.
Yeah.
That's a commitment enough, you know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think yes.
Yeah, I would say it's probably like it's like it is harder, I'm sure, to break up with someone you're engaged to than someone who's just your boyfriend. So there is like an extra level of commitment on top of there.
Because you've already said yes, that like I'm going to be part of your family and you're going to be part of my family, and then you're like, no, sorry.
Yeah, but like divorce could happen at any time too. So
not in Fundy world.
That's true.
No marriage. No marriages is what I said. No marriages. No divorces.
I love threatening divorce with my husband. It's the only thing that works sometimes. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't.
Or am I?
Are you?
Depends on the day.
That's fair. That's fair.
But I think that brings us to the end. Finally. We finally did it.
We finished season 7.
Josie is engaged. There's been babies.
Tori is knocked up. There's been 2 babies. There's been courtships.
I don't even know.
Carlin.
Church
and
buildings.
Stuff.
All kinds of stuff.
Longest season.
For real. The longest season. I have no idea how long the next season is, but I'm scared to look.
I think it's shorter.
Okay, that's good. But if you have anything to say about this episode or any of our other episodes, or if you have any suggestions for things you'd like us to cover in the future, you can send us an email at tvliterate@gmail.com.
Yep, and you can find us everywhere on the internet at TV Literate. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, Tumblr, anywhere you can find us. If you have any fundy news or trash TV news that you need to share, you can share it with us, and we will appreciate it and love it forever.
We definitely will.
We'll nurture it, and we may even talk about it on the show.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you want to give us a couple bucks because you enjoy our podcast and want to help us with our hosting fees, it's ko-fi.com/TV Literate.
Yes. And feel free to leave us a review. That helps us out a lot as well. And we will see you guys next week with another episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.